the most delicious and flavorful pasta salad that you can make for any occasion you've got coming up. Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. Thanks to Hellmann's for sponsoring this video. Today I'm going to show you such a delicious pasta salad. It is my creamy Caesar pasta salad that is perfect for this time of year, especially if you're anything like me and you like to grill on the weekends and then you end up having leftover bits and pieces in the fridge that just aren't enough on their own to make a meal. But if you pull them all together, then you can make something fantastic. I'm using Hellmann's mayo to help me make a delicious dressing that's going to help me use up some things that hopefully a lot of you will have on hand too, and then you can make this recipe right away. But it's so versatile, you're gonna love it. So, you know, when you think of Hellmann's mayo, you think a spread, a little bit on a sandwich, but we're gonna use it as a base for the dressing that it is so delicious that also works really well as a dip. If you add just a little bit of Greek yogurt to it and you've got any leftover crudité in the fridge, it's perfect. So let me run you through the ingredients of what you'll need, and we're gonna pull this together so fast, you're gonna love it. So think Caesar salad. It's got very specific components, right? It's got your greens, typically it's romaine. It's got a really lovely pungent dressing, usually with anchovies and Parmesan, which of course we're gonna make today. And it's got hard-boiled eggs most of the time. So we're gonna do all of that. We're gonna add some leftover grilled chicken, some leftover pasta, and we're gonna make an amazing pasta salad. So let's get started. What I have in this small bowl is a little bit of Dijon mustard and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and use some anchovy paste. I find anchovy paste to be really easy to use in a dressing, but if you don't have anchovy paste and you've got a couple pieces of anchovies, a couple fillets, then do that. I just think it's easier. And for anyone that will say, I don't eat anchovies, I'm not doing it, if you eat Caesar dressing, you eat anchovies. It doesn't taste fishy at all. It just gives you a really beautiful salty flavor that just complements everything really well. I've got a really big fat clove of garlic, so I'm gonna just go ahead and grate it right in. Nearly there. Just gonna take these and remove them. Get them right in there. Now you guys know, and I've spoken about this a lot throughout the last 10 years that I've been doing this, I can be somewhat generous when it comes to food and shopping for food and ingredients, but I am never wasteful. I never want to contribute to food waste. I feel like it's something that, you know, you're very tempted sometimes. You look in the fridge and you go, I only have a couple pieces of chicken breast. But you know, if you just think a little bit, you think about how you can pull it together with other random things that you've got on hand, that you can make something really delicious. You know, less food waste is the way to go. And I do feel like I'm queen of pulling things out of my fridge and freezer and making it work. And it's always something really special because, you know, it's homemade food. It's delicious food. I don't want to waste it. And I want you to think the same way. But, you know, here, I'm definitely going to use, you know, my Hellmann's mayo as sort of a star that takes a few pieces of stuff and just kind of like transforms it into something magical. I've added a little bit of lemon juice. I'm going to add a splash of red wine vinegar. I like a good amount of acidity in my dressing. And I'm going to add my mayo. Now, like I said earlier, if you wanted to make this a dip, right, add a little bit of Greek yogurt. I say Greek yogurt because regular yogurt is a little bit too thin, and it is so fantastic. You leave it in the fridge to sort of set for a while, and wow, it is delicious. And you can also use it, you know, as something really delicious on a sandwich or a spread on a wrap or something like that. Delicious. A little bit of salt. Just gonna go ahead and switch to a whisk because I want to start whisking all of this together. And then what I have, I also have a little bit of water just to thin it out a little bit. You can also use a splash of milk, but I'm just literally gonna use maybe a tablespoon or two. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grate my parm once I taste this for seasoning. That is, on its own, like that, that would be a phenomenal garlic sauce for my shoelaces. It's so good. But now we're gonna add a ton of parm and it's gonna make it salty and cheesy and so good. You're gonna love it. And you know, This is very versatile. If you don't have chicken on hand, but maybe you've got a little bit of, grilled seafood. Shrimp would be phenomenal here. You've got some roasted vegetables. That would be fantastic. You have a different kind of pasta. That's fine. You got leftover potatoes. Add it right in, I mean, to be very honest, the dressing is the star. You know what I'm saying? So you could really add anything you wanted to this. Get all your cheese in. I'm gonna go ahead and just add a splash of water just to make it a little bit easier to mix it all together. Now, on the East Coast, you'll find Hellmann's mayo. On the West Coast, you'll find Best Foods. Delicious. It's just, it's called one thing on the West Coast, one thing on the East Coast, because they're cool like that. So if you find it on the West Coast, you'll find Best Foods. If you're on the East Coast, you'll find Hellmann's. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. It's very tangy. It's cheesy, I'm sure, because I put like pretty much most of that. That is so good. That is so good. It's insane. So, I had a romaine that I've chopped. I have to have romaine in my Caesar pasta salad. It's just, I have to have the crunch of it. I'm used to it. It's what I like in my Caesar salad. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it. This is only 8 ounces of cooked pasta, but we're gonna bulk it up with all the lettuce and the chicken, and it's gonna be pretty phenomenal. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. I'm going to add my chicken and my hard-boiled eggs on top when I serve it. So I'm not adding it now. I'm gonna add half the dressing, give it a really good toss. I like to, if I can help it, I like to underdress the salad a little bit and then serve more dressing on the side, just because I feel like it's better that way, but you can add it all in. I might just add it all in. I ended up using all the dressing because, like I said, that dressing is the key. It is magic that helped me turn bits and pieces into something fabulous, and it is truly so delicious. I promise you it'll be a go-to for you. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of pepper, and now at this point I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna add it to my serving bowl, because now I'm gonna top it with my eggs and my chicken and some herbs, and it's gonna be so perfect. Love it. This is the perfect thing to make ahead of time if you're having, maybe like a Sunday lunch with your family or something. You can make it the night before, and those flavors will just get even better and better. But the only thing I would say is to stir your lettuce last minute so it doesn't wilt, Okay, so we have that there, and now I'm gonna move on to my chicken. I've got some chicken breast that I had grilled. Let me tell you what Joe Vitale does. That would be my husband, okay? He tells me at the beginning of every week he wants a half a dozen hard-boiled eggs for him to snack on, and I do that. He eats like one, and then they're left over in the fridge for me to eat, which is fine. Then he will grill an entire extra pack of chicken breast, eats one, and the rest gets in the fridge, okay? So, gotta use things up, obviously. So it's perfect for this, but if you have somebody like that in your family, bless you, and make a delicious recipe with it. So I've got 2 chicken breasts. I'm gonna go ahead and just slice it really nice and thin, because when I do go to serve it, then what I'll do is just mix it all together. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and slice it. Chicken is on. I went ahead and started cutting my hard-boiled eggs, which are, by the way, so perfect. I love having hard-boiled eggs on hand. You could use 2 to 4. It's totally up to you. I just have to have some. If you want to get more recipes, you can go to hellmanns.com, or to learn more about food waste, how to reduce food waste, and Hellmann's partnership with Refed, that will be on hellmanns.com as well. It's always good to inform yourself on how to help reduce food waste. You know what I mean? Less food waste is always the goal. So anyway, back to my eggs. You cut your hard-boiled eggs. You can slice them. You can quarter them, whatever your heart desires. I'm going to go ahead and just quarter them. And then I kind of just tend to place them all over. I always like to make sure I season my eggs. And I know not traditional, but I have to have some fresh herbs. I do a little combo of dill and parsley. It really kind of makes everything come to life. It's nice and fresh. It's just nice. I know, not, like I said, not traditional, but delicious. And I tend to always have leftover, you know, a bunch of, you can see back there, I always like to have big containers of herbs that I buy at the beginning of the week and then just kind of use them throughout my cooking. That is perfect. Kind of scatter them all around. That looks perfect. Little extra grinding of black pepper, mainly on the eggs, because you guys know I like every bit to be flavorful. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely magnificent. And like I said, very versatile. If you had veggies on hand, use that. If you have some shrimp, use that. If you had tuna, use that. Make it work. Take whatever you've got on hand, turn it into something fantastic. How can that go wrong, you know? I'm gonna take my mouth is salivating. I'm gonna take a bite from the very end so that nobody sees. You guys, it is absolutely dynamite. That dressing would be good on absolutely any and everything, from wraps to pasta salad to using it as a dip. It is truly outstanding. I know you will love it. The recipes on laurainthekitchen.com. Once again, thanks to Hellmann's for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna go dive in and I will see you in the next one. Bye.